Hello, possums. It is I, Dame Edna's honorary understudy, here in the dressing room at my latest show at Don't Tell Mamas, getting ready to go on. But I'm here to tell you, possums, to check out my favorite little theater, Chapel Street Players in Newark, Delaware. They're participating in Do More 24. Sounds exciting to do so much in 24 hours. So please support their move to a new theater by participating once again in Do More 24.
Hello and welcome to Chapel Street Players' third annual variety talent show, live streamed. To my left is my wonderful, beautiful co-host, an amazing actress, and the vice president of box office here at Chapel Street, Michelle Opaleski.
And to my right is the one and only, world-renowned president of Chapel Street, Scott F. Mason.
We're so glad that you could be here. We hope you enjoyed that little pre-show.
Pre-show.
What'd you think of the Dame?
Well, not to say, I don't want to talk bad about her, but
Well, you can.
she could have given us more than 30 seconds.
I know, she's cheap.
I mean, come on.
She's cheap.
Jeez.
You know, I think if she went over 30 seconds, we had to pay her or something, because, she's a raving lunatic. But anyway, back to Chapel Street Players. So this, as I said, is the third annual time we're doing it. It's our third time participating in Do More 24. And of course, we want you to support Chapel Street Players, but there are so many nonprofits out there throughout the state of Delaware that will also be asking for money throughout these next 24 hours. And we're excited that it's virtual again because, we had to get dressed up, although we're naked below the table.
No.
Right?
No.
We've had a little bit to drink before the pre-show. But no, you get to watch it from the comfort of your home and hopefully not too far from your credit card. Hint, hint. So tonight we're going to see a bunch of videos. Some of them are commercials that you'll get excited about, upcoming things. Some of them are a walk down memory lane because unless you've lived under a rock in Newark or anywhere for the last few months, you know that we're getting a brand new theater, and a lot of what tonight is about is supporting that new theater. So we're going to have a few walks down memory lane, and then we have performers.
Yes, the performers are excellent this year, and I'm looking forward to watching all of them.
I know, it's exciting. So without further ado, let's get to that first performer. And one of the things we love, right, Michelle, about the virtual is that it allows people to participate in this program from wherever, throughout the world. And we've had several Chapel Street volunteers throughout the years move away. And we have a couple, thanks to live stream and video, that are able to be with us tonight. And our first performer is just one of those people. It is Susan Boudreau from Florida. She moved to Florida, and she's going to be singing a song for us tonight. So without further ado, here is Susan Boudreau singing If I Loved You.
My name is Susan Boudreau. I'm going to be singing If I Loved You from Carousel. When I worked in the mill, weaving at the loom, I'd gaze absent-minded at the room. And half the time the shuttle tangled in the threads, and the warp would get mixed with the wool. If I loved you, but somehow I can see just exactly how I'd be. If I loved you, time and again I would try to say all I'd want you to know. If I loved you, words wouldn't come in an easy way, round in circles I go, long do you know? If I love you.
You know, she's never ceases to amaze.
I know, and I miss her. I miss her.
We do miss her. Susan Boudreau was an actress and an assistant director here at Chapel Street Players in this theater that we're sitting on the stage tonight with the audience behind us, the chairs of the audience behind us, and she was here for many, many years, and we miss her. But again, she got to be in our live stream COVID season.
Yes.
And she's tried to come back and participate in as many ways as she can, thanks to the magic of the internet. And so now you need to know about the voting.
Yes, but
first talk
also
about Do More.
the Do More
Yeah.
24 is really important, and I think that this is our third year doing this. We did the first year was during COVID, which was a tough time for everybody. And even during COVID, we raised well over $5,000. Then last year was such an amazing time, and we cleared almost $20,000. And if we could go in that same trajectory, maybe.
Yeah, keep going up.
Keep going up.
Yes, keep going up.
And if we go in that in those fractions, we could, 50 to 100 would be nice.
That's right. And
Yeah.
if you donate at least $1,000 and want to indicate this in the comments, you can buy a chair. If you missed buying a chair last
Yeah.
year, you can buy, because we don't want to take the chairs that are behind us because they're rather old and uncomfortable. So we want to get new chairs for the theater. So again, for a donation of $1,000 during this anytime actually, even if you don't do it in the next 24 hours, you can buy a chair with your name on it or a company name, etc. But let's talk about the voting, because it's a little bit different. So this is a talent show. Susan Boudreau is the first performer. We'll indicate the other performers as we go along tonight. And we're going to have a winner that will be announced at our happy hour, which we'll get to a little later on. But the way you vote for the performer you like is you make a donation. So now it's not about how high that donation is, it's about how many, the quantity of donations that each performer gets. So for example, if you're a big fan of Susan Boudreau and you want to vote for her, you may have thought, well, I'll donate $25. But don't donate it all at once. Make that donation 5 donations of $5, because the minimum donation is $5. So once again, like if you're thinking about making $50 donation for Susan Boudreau, make 10 donations, individual donations for $5 each. So I hope you get that. And again, the performer with the most donations, not the total dollar amount, but the most individual donations, they will be announced the winner at our happy hour.
Also, I wanted to mention too, is that I think it's important that a lot of the donations through Do More 24 in the past, people would get large dollar amounts, and then they would, they have a lot of rich friends. So they would have one big lump from somebody. We like to show that Chapel Street's a pretty large family. We have a lot of people that care and a lot of people that want to help us. And some people can't donate more than $5 or $10, and that's wonderful. The more people, the better. And I think it's nice that they are recognizing the quantity of people that want to help, not how much they can help, which is very nice.
And speaking of help, and we mentioned the chairs that we had a special on last year. Michelle, what's coming up? What's coming up this year during Do More 24?
Yes.
As
So
specials?
last year we had the chair specials, which we did really well with. This year is something that is going to be really, really fun. I'm going to let the commercial explain it. We're going to be talking about bricks and stages. So let's take a look at this year's specials.
As part of the Do More 24 campaign, we are offering a special incentive for our Chapel Street patrons, volunteers, and friends. As many of you have heard, CSP is working with Lang Development to build us a brand new theater And even better news, it has plenty of parking. The plans continue to move forward, and we hope to inform you soon when we will be breaking ground at the new site. Last year, we started our Take a Seat campaign, and this was wildly successful, and seats are still available. This year, we have added 2 new items as part of the campaign for you to buy. One feature of our building that makes it stand out from the surrounding homes are the bricks. After we move, this building will be replaced, and some of you may want a piece of Chapel Street to keep as a memory. We are announcing a new Pick a Brick campaign. You can help CSP pave the way to a new theater by picking a brick from the old theater for $100. We will stencil onto each brick Chapel Street Theater 1969 to 2024, which are the years this little brick building was our home. As part of the Do More 24 campaign, we are offering a special price, and you can pick a brick for only $80. Another place in our theater that holds many memories and layers of paint is our stage. The current stage was replaced a little over 20 years ago, and we have seen many volunteers tread these boards, and we want to give you the opportunity to share the stage with our actors. We are announcing the Share the Stage campaign, and you can buy a piece of our stage. It will be at least 8 inches by 8 inches and will have a label so you will always know that this came from Chapel Street and the years we were in this space. For the Share the Stage campaign, the pieces of the stage will cost $50, but for the Do More 24, you can get your part of the stage for $40. When you donate during Do More 24, please indicate if you would like a brick, a piece of the stage, or for $120, you can get both. We thank you in advance for your generosity, and we would also like to thank Do More 24, Spur Impact, and the United Way of Delaware, along with the many sponsors who are giving additional incentives and bonuses during this event. And finally, we would like to thank the Delaware Division of the Arts for their continued support of artists across the state of Delaware and to Chapel Street players.
So now you know about this year's specials. I think it's such a great idea, and something that you can possibly do is take a piece of the stage and put it in a shadow box, and maybe, if you have a playbill from one of the shows and put it up there, or the bricks. I think it would be a great idea to put it in your garden. If you have like a garden that you can put like a brick in and have that with CSP's information on it, it'd be nice.
It would be fun. I think, another option, Michelle, is if you buy enough bricks and enough of the stage, you can build your own mini Chapel Street Playhouse in your own backyard. I mean, it's fun for the whole family. You could put on your own plays in the backyard with bricks and stage pieces from Chapel Street. But just a note, I know it was in the commercial, but I do want to make a note, Michelle, that please indicate, because you might make a donation that qualifies for a brick or a piece of the stage, but you don't really want it. So please, if you want a piece of the stage for that donation or a brick, please indicate that in the comments. And I also forgot to say, when you're voting for the performers, there's a comments box. Make sure you put the name of the performer in that comment box so we know who you're voting for. Mm-hmm. Did I miss anything else, Michelle? What?
It looks like you have something, right?
What?
There's something on your face. What is that?
Is it a mole?
That's what I said.
I don't have a mole on it. Oh, I was eating chocolate during the break, during that commercial. Why don't you just introduce
All right,
the next
so
person?
want to take care of that?
Uh-huh.
The next performer is a woman by the name of Celia Maurice. Now, Celia Maurice is not local, and she sent us her information in, and she did narrate Peter and the Wolf at the Delaware Symphony Orchestra. So I'm not sure if she was in the area or did that remotely, but she did send us in her own little monologue, I'm going to say. But she's a bit of a psychic, and I think that you might enjoy her. So here's our next performer, Celia Marie.
I'll gather that you're looking for a psychic medium. Well, you've come to the right place, because that's exactly what I am. Now, I'm not a psychic and I'm not a medium. I'm a psychic medium. And let me tell you what that is. You see, a psychic gets to know someone by actually having a conversation with them, whereas a medium has a conversation with those who have passed on, passed over, passing by, passed out sometimes. Anyway, I studied in Peterborough, which is in England, and it's a very sedate town. Some might say dull, one might say bloody boring, but that gave me an opportunity for a lot of meditation, which is exactly what you need in this area of expertise. Now, if you were to come to me, the way we set it up is, first of all, you need to have 3 candles, which I don't actually have right now. But I do have a candelabra back there, so we can use that. Then you need to have a round table, which I do have, but it's in the other room. And then you need some foodstuffs, which I didn't actually prepare. Oh, but I did devour this popcorn a little while ago, so we can use that. And then the medium, which is me, and the spirit, which is what you want to talk to. So I also hear that the person you want to talk to is an ex-president of the United States, a dead one, Ronald Reagan. Now, when one wants to talk of someone of that stature, then you have to sound like this, because people think you're awfully smart and you know exactly what you're talking about. And what's funny is that I have had a couple of conversations with Dutch, but we never talk about politics. We talk about entertainment. And, I give them messages from Howard Keel and Robert Montgomery and Jane Wyman. But if you're interested in the machinations of the White House and what may or may not be going on in Latin America, or any political assassinations you may have on the back burner, and even the upside-down economic policy, which Ronald Reagan was so famous for, well, you've come to the right place, because I can talk to those people. Or I can talk to other people. It really doesn't matter. I can talk to anybody you want. So that's who I am, and I'd love to hear from you. You know how to get in touch with me, and I hope you do. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Hi, I just want to mea culpa.
Are you psychic?
I am.
You're psychic.
The performer's name is Celia Maurice, and for some reason I said Celia Marie before we left, but maybe Marie's her middle name, I don't know. But I just also wanted to clarify one other thing. We heard that when people were making donations that they couldn't find a comment section, but there is an in honor of section. So if you put in honor of, you could put the performer's name, like if you wanted to donate and vote for Cecilia Maurice, you could put her name in there. Or you could put for bricks, or you could put for stage, and that way we can make sure that it's going to the right person and for the right thing. If there's any questions, we can always follow up with us, and we'll be able to clarify things.
We should have practiced her name a little bit more, because you just said Cecilia Maurice, and poor Celia Maurice. We don't know who you are.
Her name is Celia, and she's a lovely woman.
Celia Maurice, and the fact that she worked for the Delaware Symphony Orchestra, clearly she's been in Delaware, but with her accent, I think she's
from England.
From England,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And so we're glad that she participated this year, and hopefully she'll be a regular face at our new theater.
Yeah.
And because it is live, we are live, and just as we found out about the comment box is really a in honor of box, and just like Michelle keeps screwing up Catherine's name, Celia's name, we just found out, this is very exciting, because Do More 24 just started at 6 o'clock p.m. We just started at 8 o'clock p.m. And Michelle, I found out from our producers over there that we're up to $1,340. That was about 30 seconds ago. It could be even higher, so keep those dollars coming. And we mentioned the new theater, but we also like to think about the old girl behind us. And Chapel Street Players actually began not here at Chapel Street. It began as the University Drama Group at a different location. And I'm not going to spoil the fun about that. So we're just going to have a look back over our years of where we've been and where we're going. And it's going to be talked about by another icon of Newark like Chapel Street Players, which is the legendary Renee G. O'Leary, who is an actress and, of course, has been in every fundraiser here, June fundraiser here, and now it is named after her. So, let's enjoy the journey through time with our historian, Renee G. O'Leary.
Hello, I'm Dr. Renee O'Leary, current historian of the Chapel Street Players, long ago known as the University Drama Group. Behind me is Mitchell Hall on the campus of the University of Delaware, where it all began in 1934. I wasn't here then, but I am proud to say that I am the only Chapel Street Player active participant who had the pleasure of performing on this stage. The first show we presented in Mitchell Hall was in 1935 after establishing the organization. The first of our annual fundraisers was held at Anderson's Barn, which was roughly over there on the north side of the White Clay Creek. It was a pleasure to be in that first fundraiser, and I have been in every one of them since. We did several fundraisers at the barn. And on the 50th anniversary of the fundraisers, Chapel Street was gracious enough to name the annual June show in my honor. In the late 1960s, the University Drama Group decided to leave the campus and get their own theater. This site at 27 North Chapel Street was purchased in 1969, and we rechristened ourselves the Chapel Street Players. In 1969, we produced our first show at Chapel Street, and in 1970-71, we presented our first season. And so, dear friends, this is the site of our new playhouse on the south side of the White Clay Creek, here in the Creek View site. And as you can see, there's plenty of parking. Ironically, if it was still standing, you would probably likely be able to see the Anderson's Barn from here. As we did over 50 years ago, we've decided it's time to move to a new space. I hope you will join me in participating in Chapel Street Players' Take a Seat campaign by purchasing a seat or seats in your name, family, business, loving memory of someone, or anonymously. Thank you, as always, for your generous support of Chapel Street and keeping live performing arts thriving in Newark and the greater community. Like myself, dear friends, the arts are indeed alive.
It was so nice to see Renee, and we want to publicly thank you at this moment. An actual donation came in honor of Renee O'Leary, a $1,000 donation from Laura and Alan Siebert, and we truly, truly appreciate, as will Renee, your lovely generosity. What?
Yep. Is it another mole?
What? Maybe it's the other chocolate bar I had during that
Well,
video.
I would like some
Stop pointing out my faults,
Sorry.
Celia.
Well, the next person that we would like to introduce is a submission from Ruth Brown and her husband, Dave
Maurice. No, that's Celia's last name. Sokolowski.
Thank you. I didn't want to mispronounce it. Ruth and Dave have been very active in Chapel Street. Ruth as an actor and director. Dave is a set, and he's done so many other things with technical things with the theater. And I think that will enjoy the next performer. And so here's our performer, Ruth Brown, with a montage of poems.
Hello, this is Ruth K. Brown, and along with my husband, David Sokolowski, we have compiled this tribute to an amazing woman who was celebrating her 95th birthday. These poems were especially selected because they seem to match best our thoughts and feelings about this woman. We came into her life late, but have enjoyed every day of it, and also for being famously included as one set of her adopted stepchildren. It is an honor we cherish now and always will. So, to begin, in celebration of Anne Bodie Ward, who is all of these things. Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size, but when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. 'Cause I'm a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's me. Ode to a River by Joy E. Kromdiak. Oh, river, so strong, so fast, you run by me without a care. I listen as you go past and wonder if you know I'm there. The water's cold to my feet and you seem to know I'm there. You dance around my cold feet to say, your burdens I'll share. I find a great place to sit, warmed in the afternoon sun. How good to relax a bit and learn from you a lesson. Why can't I gain strength, be slow, and let the life run on by me? For then is when strength I show. Life is the river in me. The Piano by Dan Howell. Her wattled fingers can't stroke the keys with much grace or assurance anymore, and the tempo is always rubato, halting. But still that sound, notes quivering and clear in their singularity, filing down the hallway, aches with pure intention. The melody somehow prettier as a remnant than whatever it used to be. When All Around is Darkness by Daniel Turner. When all around is darkness, who provides the sun? When everyone else is serious, who is poking fun? When pollution clouds the bright blue sky, who brings clarity? Who tries to bring some common sense to mass insanity? When people kill for a belief, who is pointing fingers? When bullies push their weight around, who is the first gunslinger? Who sees the heavenly beauty in Mother Nature's charm? When the house of cards goes up in flames, who sounds the alarm? When depression comes and pulls you in, who writes you words of comfort? When they can't think of rhyming words, who makes up words like Bumfort? Who puts their feelings into words with sonnets from the heart? Who describes a garbage dump with a color chart? Whose imagination can jump from sea to star or describe the pungent odor of their grandpa's stale cigar? What people share a common bound, make pictures out of words. It's a talent that we happily share. Let every voice be heard. As artists, we are special 'cause we feel what others see. Let's weave our threads together, show the world our tapestry. Happy 95th birthday to a truly phenomenal woman. From Ruth and David, with our love.
Welcome back. Wasn't that lovely? I just wanted to, as we come back from each segment, we have to clarify something. So the one thing that I'd like to clarify is that Celia Morris did message us, which I love that this is all, it's great. It's live, on the live chat for YouTube. She messaged us and explained, just to confuse you further, it's a short and boring story why it's so, but I think I'd like to hear it. And she's a new resident of Wilmington, so this is wonderful. You'll have to come and meet us.
Yes, and we might get your name right.
Morris, I will personally buy you a drink for getting your name wrong so many times. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about also is that from the 8 o'clock to the 9 o'clock hour is Do More 24's In Your Element is what it's called. So the top 6 nonprofits that get the most individual donations in this hour will get an extra $500 bonus from Chemours. So I think it's really, we were just talking about how you can donate a large chunk, but we have a lot of people that want to join in and participate, and if you just give us a little bit, the more the merrier. So call your friends, call your family members, tell them, throw Chapel Street $5. But the other thing I also wanted to mention too with Ruth, with the poems that she did, which were beautiful. Yeah. There was a poem called When All Around Is Darkness, and it was the last one that she did the recitation of. And I just find it really heartwarming because there's so many different theaters, and there's so many different theaters in this area. For instance, Ruth is actually going to be directing a show at Reedy Point in the spring. Mm-hmm. So support her there. So we all do kind of shine a light on community theater, and we are a true community. And although we want the donations for ourselves, we do also think that it's important to spread the love. We're all in this together.
Well, she said, it is a great poem. I had never heard it till we watched the preview of the video, and she, in the poem, it mentions collaboration. And theater, all theater is collaboration. Even tonight is collaboration. We're collaborating with an actress, Celia Morris, as we're doing this. And of course, we have a production team here. I want to thank at this moment the great, our marketing VP, Peter Kuo, and our secretary and interim VP for technical production, Brian Touchette. And of course, we wouldn't be looking as good as we look without that lighting design. And of course, our cinematographer from OK Video in Wilmington, so please support OK Video as well. We have the lovely Sue Oldenburg who is here filming us tonight. But she doesn't work with us on name pronunciation. That's not in her purview.
No, it's
not in her purview.
No, that's
no,
right.
But speaking of collaboration, we've mentioned that we are moving. We're moving to a new theater thanks to Lang Development, so we need to give them a shout out as well. It is going to be near Timothy's along the White Clay Creek, and we're getting really nostalgic about the place is literally falling apart as we do this. But there's so many fond memories that so many people, I mean, there were people here way before I started in 1989, and so I don't even know the number of shows. We might be able to get that number from Brian before the night is through, but there have been so many shows, individual plays at this theater, some done more than once, some done 3 times, and it's really nice to take a look back at it. So this next thing is a video of past shows, a montage of images from past shows. So as you watch this next trip through time, take a look and see how many shows that you recognize. You know, Michelle, it does get me sentimental about leaving the theater. We have to. It's going to be so exciting to be in a new space. But looking at those pictures, it really does bring back a lot of fun memories and even interesting, the pictures that I don't recognize from before my time here. But we're going to continue this sort of fun journey looking back at Chapel Street. Michelle's going to talk about a whole different view that maybe you've never seen.
Yes. So you saw a lot of the shows that were on stage. Have you ever been backstage? Have you ever been in the dressing room? Have you ever been out back? Some people have, of course, but if you haven't, and also the green room. Oh,
The green
and
room.
the awful stairs that go down. There's a lot. There's
It's a creepy
lot.
place.
It's a very creepy little place that we absolutely love. And back in 2013, I think it was, Joe Pukach directed a show here called 39 Steps, and he did a bit of a tour. And he dressed as a very famous person, which I think you'll recognize. But I wanted to make sure that you realize that this was from 2013. This was a commercial.
It's not a show coming up tomorrow. No.
Unfortunately, although I would love for Joe to do this one again, so that if you wanted to take a look at the rest of Chapel Street and the parts that you usually don't see, here is Joe Pukach and his 2013 promotion of 39 Steps.
Good evening. Here we have a quiet little theater tucked away in the middle of North Chapel Street in Newark, Delaware. And as you see, perfectly harmless looking, when in fact it has become known as the scene of the crime. This theater has a storied history of nearly 80 years of hosting various forms of theatrical entertainment. And in this theater, the most dramatic, comedic, and horrific plays have been performed for audiences' enjoyment. Come this fall, behind that red door, another production will thrill and amaze you with stolen top-secret plans of destruction, menacing hitmen, sexy international femme fatales, and one man who caught the eye of the wrong woman. That show is the hilarious comedy, The 39 Steps. Let's go inside. The woman in question was found with a knife jammed between her spinal column and her muscles. It must have severed handfuls of nerves and tendons, and must have been very painful as her life dripped away from her, and it was, well, it's all very unpleasant and gruesome. So now, our hero, Mr. Richard Hannay, is accused of the murder and is on the run and must find out what are the 39 steps, clear his name from the homicide, and discover why this sexy, intriguing woman was murdered for what she knew. By the way, this book of hymns has great significance because... Let's go down to the dressing rooms. At one point, our hero is captured by the enemy and is shackled to another fair maiden who might be able to clear his name. The two of them escape their captors, and while posing as a married couple, get into some rather compromising positions. They get entwined with each other, and hands are hovering over places that they really... it's all quite tawdry, actually. The bath. I do so enjoy a raucous comedy every now and again. It feels good to have the diaphragm jostled and to put forth a hearty belly laugh. the 39 steps, while showcasing such subjects as a disfigured professor bent on world domination, gunfire, haddocks, and attempted homicide with a biplane may seem like inappropriate subjects for a comedy. I can assure you it is very funny. I shall see you in the fall.
That was
What? What?
that was a really neat look at our theater from a different angle, if you could say. Joe Pukach, who I have to say, he is so dedicated. He shaved his head for that piece. Shaved his head, kept the little, side. He has a full head of hair. It's gray now, but, and he was gray. Hitchcock was in black and white, and he did the makeup himself. He is extremely talented. Joe also won the Betty Bart Service and Acting Award just this past season, and I was a part of the show that Joe was actually acting in. Joe usually doesn't act. Joe is a director. He is a video person. He is a light designer. He heads up what we're going to see next, which is called Next. He's very talented. Acting is not something he loves to do, but he did act in a show called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest that I happened to act with him in, and I pushed him around in a wheelchair, and he was comatose the entire play. He was on stage almost the entire play, completely comatose, with drool. It was great. So he did receive an acting award for that, which I think he deserved.
Some would say typecasting.
I said that. And
Just to clarify, because you're so good with names, just to clarify, Joe did not win for his work in in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Joe won because he was doing sound in some radio play that Brian directed. That I can't think of the name, but it was.
See, you can't think of the name either.
No, but it was a radio
you just
play
had to
that he
correct me,
directed.
though, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway,
I didn't want people to think he won for drooling on stage.
That would have been funnier though if he won for drooling on
Well,
stage.
it's not about acting; it's about service and acting
know.
and helping
Okay.
out something.
Okay.
But moving on.
Please. So Joe also heads up a group called Next, and Next is a group of playwrights that get together and they write their own originals. Joe also helps with the festival that they do. It's called the COPE 24-Hour Play Festival, and this is something that you can see next with our next commercial. So please enjoy this promo for the COPE 24-Hour Play Festival.
Circus and machines.
The Egyptians. And they mummified it. Yeah. And then what they end up doing is bringing up the curtain. It's a space traveler.
Bottomless pit hat. It's a bottomless pit hat. And inside of it is living.
Now get it. Now. So how do I get it inside a box? Alright, I got a deadline. So man, you were moving fast. What?
please join us for Cope's 24-hour film festival. It is a lot of fun. I've participated in it myself as an actor. Also, we have less than 10 minutes in this hour, and I remember I explained that we would get an extra $500 bonus from Comores if we have the most individual donations. So tell everybody you know, just donate $5. Just give us as much as you can, or as little as you want, but many times. So if you have $50 that you want to give, do it 10 times with $5. That'll help with us possibly getting the $500 bonus, which would really be helpful.
Yeah, so do that in the next few minutes before the stroke of 9 o'clock. And, this is the exciting thing. One of the things, well, there's many exciting things about Do More 24 for the entire state. But just as there is this incentive between 8 and 9 o'clock, check out the Do More 24 website, because there's other incentives throughout the 24-hour period. So whether you're supporting Chapel Street Players or supporting another nonprofit in the state, look at those special hours, because if the charity or the cause that you're giving to wins that hour, there's extra bonus cash that goes to those organizations. And so there's a lot going on with Do More 24. And then Chapel Street Players, I thought we did a lot last year, but Chapel Street Players seems to be doing even more this year in this 24-hour period that you can watch online. And one of the things that's coming up, they did something really wonderful last year during lunch. That is our devout actresses, directors here, former board member, current board member. I'm speaking, of course, of the legendary Judy David and legendary Michelle Cullen. Last year during lunch, they did interviews and learned more about Chapel Street Players and how it works. This year they're doing a really funny thing, and I'm going to have to read it. Although I just got rid of my readers. Didn't I have readers on? Or something.
Something on.
Yeah, so they're doing this thing called, now I can't read my own writing, Michelle. It's like when I give director's notes. It's called To Be or Not to Be, Choose Your Own Danish. And if you don't know what that references to, a certain play we can't say.
No,
I
you
think
can
we
say this
say
one.
that one.
You can say this one.
We can say Hamlet. We can't say
Hamlet.
Macbeth. The theater is going to fall down for sure. We're in big, big trouble. No, so, but in addition to they're doing their special lunch hour tomorrow, so tune in tomorrow at 12 to 1, and catch that. But Judy and Michelle also combined their talents once again to do something special for Do More. They decided to enter this year's variety talent show. So this is another performance that you can vote on. So here, without further ado, is Judy David and Michelle Cullen with a one-act called Traces of Memory.
You from around here? Breakdown. Oh, the next town is.
Look, I don't want to be rude, but leave me alone.
What did you do? Murder, armed robbery, break someone's poor little heart, regicide. But that's the murder of a king. Did you murder a king down there in Vegas?
Yeah, I murdered a king.
Fabulous. I left the dishes in the sink while I left a chicken out to defrost. I left the television on. If I get going now, my husband will never know. He'll never suspect a thing. Ooh, except for something I left in the microwave. It's a humdinger. I leave now, nothing will happen that I can't take back.
I really don't care.
Oh, that's okay.
Then don't go back. Keep walking. Decision made.
Oh, but just imagine my husband coming home to the stink of rotting chicken and soap scum on the dishes, house not clean, bed not made, other problems of a domestic nature.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I love this old highway.
Great. Enjoy it.
Mm.
No, I was here first. Get lost.
Can't we share? If I had known someone was going to be here in this spot, which is just perfect for almost seeing my house, I would have made cookies or at least brought some water.
I picked this spot. It's mine.
Well, I can stand over here.
Don't you speak English?
I wish I could speak German. My grandmother was German.
Was she a Nazi?
No, she was crazy though. Not as crazy as my great-grandmother. She loved Himmler. Had a picture of him on her second floor landing in Nebraska. She would talk to it, have long conversations with it.
Fabulous. I'm so glad you told me that.
You're not. You want me to go. You want to be alone.
Does a bear crap in the woods?
Of course it does.
Then yeah.
So we both want to stay here, but for different reasons. You want to be alone, I want to be not so alone.
Look, I have a knife. It's dull, but it's still a knife. I mean, it's somewhere.
We're not men. We don't have to fight it out.
I think we do.
I'll stand over here. You stand there. Surely that's enough space, even for you.
Why are you even here? I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. There hasn't been a car for an hour. An hour! How can you thumb for a ride if the ride never shows up?
I live just down the road.
Where that long column of smoke is?
You betcha, sweetie.
Don't you think you should go put it out?
Just burning some trash.
What if it gets out of hand? It's very dry here.
Not my problem. Nevada was made to burn.
Air pollution, destruction of property, loss of life. I mean, really, you should go take care of that fire.
It'll put itself out.
Not without some help.
So falsely caring. Obvious.
You got me. Is that even your house? I mean, why burn it down? Okay, that's cool. I can respect a firebug.
Honestly?
Sure.
You respect me.
I'd respect you more if you checked on that fire.
There'll be traces of memory on the air now. Traces of love and hate and indifference.
Okay, lady.
Please, call me Ruth. You wouldn't happen to be Naomi, would you?
Was that an explosion?
Never mind. I'm Ruth. No last names today, nothing that links us to anyone or any place, well, except for this bit of Highway 50, which we can both share. And who are you? Other than fierce guardian of the blacktop.
I don't have a name.
Because you murdered a king.
Of course.
Okay, so, I can call you whatever I want. Naomi it is.
No, I hate that name.
Too bad, Naomi.
I said no.
Does anyone listen when a woman says no, Naomi?
Apparently not.
Oh, that's the first honest thing you've said. Bravo.
Honest Abe, that's me.
Well, apparently not. I burned down my house, Naomi. So, what have you done?
Quit calling me that hateful name.
No, am I to guess? Naomi.
Don't you go to jail for burning down your house?
Oh, sure, if they catch you. What did you do? I'm not just curious. No judgments here. God knows I've killed and buried my share of enemies and friends alike. I've always loved this view. Can barely see where I live. Oh, or used to live now. So, what are we to do now?
Where is it? Is it?
Do you want me to help you look, Naomi?
No, I don't want your help. I don't want your company. I don't want you here in my spot. So go away. How much more clear can I make it?
Oh, my.
Strike. Get moving, lady.
No, it's Ruth.
Ruth, Duluth, whatever.
Fine. I can take a hint, subtle as you are, dearie. But here's my price. You have to tell me what you did. It's only fair. I shared. Now it's your turn. Otherwise, I'll just keep following you. Well, Greta, you can almost smell the smoke. Almost.
All right, you'll go.
Sure, Greta.
Will we ever find out the woman's real name?
Dun, 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 dun. Will we ever find out what bad thing she did?
Dun, 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 dun. That was bad. Like a classic cliffhanger. we will pick up the story after about a 5-minute intermission? Do you?
Yeah, 5, 6. But
Okay.
anyway, during intermission, you will see a QR code for those hip people. I don't know what that is. I thought it was like emergency surgery. The QR code will be shown during intermission, and you can is it click on a QR code, focus on, aim, take a picture, whatever.
of it.
You look at the QR code, and then that will take you to our donation page where you can make a donation. And because we're live, I've heard from the producers that they are updating that QR code page, thingamajiggy, whatever you want to call it, to make sure that the information about bricks and stage pieces are on there. So once again, you can build your mini Chapel Street Theater in your backyard. And the good news, I just heard from our prompter that we are up to, it's a fun number actually, it's sort of hindsight number, it's sort of psychic number like Celia Morris might predict.
Morris.
I said Morris. Did I say Morris?
I just was making
sure.
sure.
I thought I said Morris. We are up to $2,020 and $20. I don't even know how to say it. We're all tongue-tied tonight.
$2,020.
$2,020, yes. So use that QR code during intermission. Make it worthwhile. Make it useful because Peter Quo spent hours making the QR code. So use that QR code to make more donations so that by the time we come back from intermission, we're going to have $2,300.
Oh, I think we should have more than that.
Well, 23. How about that?
How about 20?
How about 25?
How about 28?
I yeah. Yeah.
I want 28.
Okay, 28. 28 sounds a good number. But meanwhile, we will see you again. Stay tuned. We'll see you again in about 5 to 6 minutes.
Oh, we're back already?
We're
back already? That is amazing. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back. And, Michelle, that was so much fun watching that happen that we need to go to the end. So I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me too.
In this one act.
Here is the finale of Traces of Memory.
Did you really burn down your house? And it's not Greta.
I put a coffee cup full of gasoline in the microwave.
That's your word.
Believe me, Naomi, or Greta, or Junebug, or
It's Phoebe, for Christ's sake. Oh, how can I believe anything you say?
Phoebe. What a beautiful name, Phoebe. Oh, I don't have an answer to that.
And what's the point?
Two strangers meet on a road less traveled. That's the point. I told you something. I gave you my trust. I've just confessed to arson, punishable offense, as you pointed out, and especially when you leave 3 children tied up in the kitchen watching the microwave. That annoying border collie puppy my husband insisted on buying for $500. $500. I haven't had a pair of new pants in 3 years, and he goes and buys a $500 dog. I mean, people dump free dogs around here all the time. It's too much.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not crazy. I'm probably gonna get caught. Fingerprints, DNA evidence, who knows what they got. Oh, and now this confession. Oh, I'm not a very good criminal.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I could turn you in for a reward.
What?
A reward for the baby killing, puppy frying lady arsonist.
But that takes time. That they would have to charge me. I'd have to escape in a blaze of gunfire. Oh, or I could throw rocks. I don't have a gun.
Fine, whatever. You want to know what I did? I beat the heck out of the skank that was banging my boyfriend. I put her in the hospital. And you know what? She died. The witch never woke up. So you see, I have real problems, you psycho weirdo. I'm not making this up. Nobody burns up their kids and their dog, nobody.
I don't think it's a new idea, Phoebe. It's a nice name. Will you take him back? Your kind always does.
Take him back? No.
You will. You'll get lonely on the run, come back to Vegas, sniff around, because you got that itch that you mistake for true love when it's really just an itch. You'll crawl back to him and you'll forget. And you'll grow blind again and deaf again because it's love. And nobody understands him and nobody makes you feel like he does.
Shut up.
You're already thinking he needs to be forgiven. After all, the other girl's dead, right?
You said you'd leave if I told.
Oh, I didn't. Or we could hook up, go on a cross-country spree of some kind. Now we both killed, so maybe robbery?
Goodbye, Ruth.
The secret to getting away with a crime is to not tell anybody what you did. Yeah, or at least, not leave anybody alive. Who knows? My memories are burning. Now I'm free. We've got this stretch of nowhere to get lost in, and this fine morning. It was nice talking to you.
Free.
Until the next man, and the next one. Free until then. Will I keep my promise?
Nobody burns up their kids and their dog. Nobody. You're good.
And we are back. And we want to say thank you to Michelle and Judy for that wonderful one act. And you know what today is? Besides Do More 24, today is a very special day because it's our own Judy David's birthday. So we're going to give a shout out to Judy saying happy birthday.
Happy
And so
birthday, Judy.
if you're watching, hopefully you're watching, although I don't know if she would want to watching us on her birthday. But,
No, I
you know,
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I don't know. But I also apparently messed up, because this is what we're doing tonight. We're messing up names and the titles of things.
Well,
So
you're the one that said the Scottish play.
it's my fault. It's all my fault. So I think the thing that I got wrong was because I couldn't read my writing, Michelle. That or the lovely drinks that were provided by Peter Quo. We messed up the title of the Danish thing. It's supposed to be your choice of, and my goal, ladies and gentlemen, our Chapel Street's goal is to raise a lot of money. My goal is to once during the night make Michelle Opaleski snort, and I've accomplished that goal. So, moving on. I called it Choose Your Danish. And as much as we'd like to choose a Danish, be it cheese or raspberry, it's Choose Your Danish Adventure.
Choose your own Danish adventure.
Okay, choose your own. You should have done it. I've messed it so up. Even Celia is laughing at
Celia
this point.
Morris
She is
knows
like,
what it is,
She
but
thought, I
we
thought they
don't.
butchered my name. They just did terrible justice to the Danish thing. Okay, so moving on, we've got to get to our next performer. This is very exciting because when I saw this video, Michelle, I was thinking there's that late night talk guy, and he does something like this in a car.
James Corden.
Yeah, him. Are you
It's
sure
called-
that's his name? It's not Gordon? Just checking.
It's a C. It's not a G.
Oh.
It's Corden.
Oh, see, I got it wrong.
See?
So James Corden does this thing. What's it called?
Carpool karaoke.
All right, so talk about the performance that's coming next.
So 2 years ago, when we did this during COVID, our very own and one of my favorite people at Chapel Street, Susie Moak, did a song. She serenaded us from her car. She videotaped it from her car. The acoustics were wonderful. I thought she did a great job. And she, once again, is doing it for us for this fundraiser.
In a car.
In a car. So once again, here is Susie Moak with her very own carpool karaoke.
Hi, Susie Moak here. I would like to sing you two little songs, little bitty songs, two of my favorites. The first is called Nature Boy, and I used to listen to it by Nat King Cole. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad am I, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he came my way, and he spoke of many things, fools and kings. This he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. The second song I'd like to sing is a song by Paul Simon. It's dedicated to all of the people at Chapel Street over the years. The lighting designers, sound designers, set decorators, costume designers, makeup artists, actors, directors, all of you. Amazing talent, and thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of it. Time it was, and what a time it was. It was a time of innocence, a time of confidences. Long ago it must be. I have a photograph. Preserve your memories. They're all that's left you. Thank you so much.
Well, wasn't that a lot of fun? You know, it's so funny because Susie's done so much as an actress, as a director, props person. I mean, there isn't stage managers, there's nothing that Susie can't do, but yet she says that she can't sing. And then
Don't
here she
understand
is doing one of the most difficult things, which is singing a cappella and in a car.
And not easy song.
And not no, and she got every note. I was really impressed, and that was a lot of fun. And she's not going anywhere. She's not even driving to the new theater. This is just her studio of choice is a car. Maybe that's where we should have been tonight.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But in any case, we mentioned earlier that it's so nice that people during Do More, particularly during our virtual experiences, whether it was the COVID season or again this kind of virtual situation, former Chapel Streeters who have moved away can come in from wherever. And this next performer, she was an actress here, she was a playwright here, she was for a long time our treasurer, which is sort of a hint to give money that she's not going to count, but someone's going to count it. Actually, the new treasurer is Zach Jackson. He'll be counting it. So please don't forget to donate and support Chapel Street Players. And so this person, as I mentioned, very active at Chapel Street, then due to work and family, needed to move south, but she still stays in touch with us, comes visit us, and now she's performing for us. So please enjoy this original monologue by former Chapel Streeter Patricia Cullinane.
Hi, I'm Pat Cullinane, and I am going to be doing a monologue that I wrote myself. So, here goes. Maybe the linen pantsuit she wore to Mike's wedding, or that paisley suit she always wore to work. Either one of those would have been perfect, except that I made her get rid of them. All right, now, in my defense, okay, my mother had closets, plural, full of clothes. I mean, she stuffed her closet, obviously. Once us kids moved out, she stuffed our closets. The woman even had to buy rolling racks to put in the spare room. I mean, she loved to put together an outfit. Okay, from the dress to the jewelry to the matching shoes, the matching handbag. She was always the prettiest woman in the room. We used to say men wanted her and women wanted to be her. I don't know. I loved it. I mean, it was fun having a pretty mommy. She knew when she moved in with me, she could not bring all those clothes. I mean, what did I have to offer this woman? 2 rooms and a hall closet. I told her, Mom, half of these clothes don't even fit you. And not only do they not fit you, they don't even fit your life anymore. I mean, when was the last time you wore a dress? I mean, come on. Ever since she retired, her attire was, jeans and a sweatshirt, usually with a cat on it. She knew she couldn't bring them to my house. But man, oh man, she hated to let them go. I've been thinking about that conversation. Because today I have to find something to bury her in. They don't fit you anymore, Mom. You don't need them anymore, Mom. Why do you have these, Mom? I don't know. I just got to pick something. I mean, anything. What does it matter anymore? Except, I don't know. I mean, even now, I just wanted to be the prettiest woman in the room.
Wow. Wow. I mean, she's such a great writer, and it was so profound. And what I thought, I'm going to share this, I hope you don't mind. Michelle and I got to preview the videos so we could sort of think about what we were going to say and talk about. And I remember watching this particular video the other night. Michelle turned to me right at the beginning of the monologue, and she said, "Oh, I know what she's talking about. She's talking about her mother's funeral." And I was like, "What?" I was so shocked. You were like psychic, like Celia Morris. But talk about that, because if you don't mind sharing,
no,
it was so touching a story, Michelle.
When she said, and Patricia, please forgive me if I've messed it up, but I think she said, what about the thing she wore to Mark's wedding? And as soon as she said that, I said, I remember I buried my great-grandmother and 2 other grandmothers, and one of the things that my one grandmother was extremely fastidious about the way she looked, the way she dressed, and we were very stressed about what are we going to bury her in? And that was what we went through. Well, let's think about what wedding she went to last. What did she really like? Because we knew that my grandmother's a wonderful, wonderful woman, but if we got it wrong, she'd come back and haunt us. I knew it. So my mother and
Italian,
I.
Right?
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
so
yes,
like
yes. Yes.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. She put the evil eye on us, the Maloika. But yeah, it's amazing that, little thing like that, we all can relate to. And that's something that Patricia really she nailed. She really did.
Yeah,
I thought it was wonderful.
It was lovely.
Absolutely wonderful. So, our next installment, which is really, really exciting to me, is the Tea or Something Stronger with the Dames and the Dukes. So, this is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait.
But okay, then. So let me finish about that. So, yes, what Michelle was referring to, and then for whatever reason went dashing off, live theater, these are a bunch of segments, so you can see the schedule. We'll talk about that later on. These will be appearing throughout the 24-hour period. This is the first installment that you're going to see right now. And when we talk about the Dames and the Dukes, these, and speaking of grandmothers and great-grandmothers, these individuals were gathered because they are some of the veterans, and I will say seniored members of Chapel Street who've been doing this for a long time, many of them even longer than me. And just like if anyone saw the really wonderful film called Tea with the Dames, that was released a little bit before COVID, that featured interviews with Dame Judi Dench and Dame Maggie Smith, hence the Dames, and some other actresses. We did our own take on this thanks to Brian Touchette and Peter Quo. And so let's take a look. Here is the first installment of the Dames and Dukes of Chapel Street Players.
Was there a time that something went wrong on stage or off stage?
Which one?
Exactly. Lots of times.
Well, I think the show was called Not Now, Darling, and it was at the barn. And I had a full-length, actually long, fur coat, mink coat, and underneath, panties and bra. That was it. Okay.
Marilyn Monroe.
Wait till I tell you. And you were supposed to go like this quickly. The doggone thing on this side on the way back got stuck on my shoulder, and it did not want to come back quickly.
You had a costume, what do they call that? With
malfunction.
Yes, a costume
I had a costume malfunction that lasted more than 2 seconds. Like it was,
Which is like a year on
a
stage.
2-second scene became like, oh crap, oh dear.
That's funny. Thank you God this is a community theater.
And why is that?
Because I do believe that there was one occasion where I actually hit the wrong button and it just went black.
And we need forgiveness.
And the whole, the audience had no clue. They thought it was supposed to go black and it came right back up. But everybody on stage knew it wasn't supposed to go black. And I'm sure they were all just thinking, Susie, what are you doing? You know, it wasn't not paying attention, it was hitting, the wrong little button.
Losing your buttons.
Yes, mixing up my buttons. Yeah.
This was really crazy. It was my very first play here, and it was called Rumors, a Neil Simon farce. And a farce, as we all know, is just off-the-wall exaggeration, but to the members of the company, it's the real thing. These actors really, they're feeling this nutso situation. Well, to add insult to injury, when the show opened, when the play opened, it wasn't the opening night or maybe the second or third night, I heard the audience. I was not yet on stage. It was a series of couples that were entering at different times. The first couple was already out on stage, and I heard this laughter, and there were obviously very funny lines, but this laughter was really kind of nervous, like real nervous. And what was happening, we learned that there was a bat flying around on the stage, back and forth and back and forth. I was with my fellow, the person playing my wife, and we're getting ready to go on. It's like, holy cow, what are we going to do? And the two actors are already on stage. We're handling it really well. And they sort of incorporated this nutsy situation into it. So then it was time for our entrance. It's like, oh, shoot, what do we do? And we played with it. And then the bat, I don't know we don't know exactly what happened, if one of the ushers ushered it outside, but it was no longer there. But it was there for the first 15 minutes. You're God.
It's not the first time an old bat upstaged the Yeah, it's a smaller incident, but it's just memorable. I had a supporting role in a one-act here called the Beach Club, and when I was off stage, at some point I'm supposed to throw a beach ball up over the wall. And, in rehearsals it was often worked, but because of the lights and because of the baffles that were supporting the actual flats, it was a little tricky to get it just right. And so one night was when the performance night, and I got it up, and it came back, and up, and it came back, and then it bounced, and it came back. And of course it's timed with lines, so I said, hell with it. So I went to the front of the flat and went and threw the ball in, and someone said they saw my hands. Like, not what I wanted.
That would be the fun of the audience has fun then,
So, and it wasn't a melodrama. You're not supposed to see like the gun that says bang, Anyway, that stuck in my mind, the famous beach ball.
So you were saying something happened, what, during Spelling Bee, or?
I was thinking of the leaking roof on your script.
Oh,
that was my other.
Christmas Carol,
right?
Other kind of testy moment. We were doing the radio version. It was a Christmas Carol live radio play, and we had music stands.
Yes,
and they were placed here, here, and here.
And you were.
And I was over here. And one night, I think it was a Saturday night, and it was pouring outside. You could actually, with this roof, you can really hear it all over the place. And then I started to see these drips. Holy cow. I won't say the word, but I was thinking it. And I thought, what am I going to do? Because of the fact that it was a live radio play, we did not memorize our lines.
No, correct. Yeah.
We had the scripts in front of us on these music stands. So I thought, well, I'm just going to do what I have to do because, I don't want any water dripping all over my script. So I just moved over there with hopes that I could still see the light because the lights were already set, and I placed it so I could. I think our stage manager Michelle actually helped as well, but that was a mess.
For one of our shows, there's a beautiful background of the lights of New York's skylight line, and he had little pokies in for lights. And opening night, there was a horrible rainstorm. And right in the middle of the scene with the picture, the roof started leaking right over the picture.
Over New York City?
Yes. And luckily the scene was almost over. We cut out, and then everybody scrambled to figure out how to fix it so it wouldn't keep dripping all over the stage. That was scary. Most of my memories of things that go wrong are things that have gone wrong with the building itself, the poor old building in the middle of all these things.
There you go. We're looking forward to a new building, aren't we, ladies?
We are. I'm so excited. I can't stand it. It's so exciting.
The dukes and the dames were all. Why don't?
What?
Hello, possums.
What are you doing? Michelle,
Dames
Michelle,
and the Duke. Where's your cowboy hat?
Oh my God, it's not the Duke like John Wayne. It's not the dames like Dame Edna. You were off. I was wondering what you're doing, and then you come. And
hello.
Stop.
Possum.
Just stop. Stop. Because
No?
it's like. Between her and Celia, we're doomed because you called her a bitch earlier, Dame Edna, and now we're doomed. We're doomed. But no, it's as I explained to the audience when you went rushing off to the dressing room, obviously, to change into I don't know what. I love the glasses over the glasses.
Well,
that is
these are.
Yeah, they're
these
fake.
work.
Yes. So in any case, the Dukes and the Dames, it's like the. I don't want to say the elder people of Chapel Street. I just did. But it's people who have been around for a long time, and just like dames are knighted and whatever. I'm not even going to try to explain it to you.
So
now.
like Dame,
Yes,
like Judi Dench, Dame.
Yes, like Dame Renee O'Leary or Dame Susie Moak or Duke Bill King.
Sir King.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Yes, now that we're all on the same page. We have a lot of fun, and tonight's been a lot of fun. It's been really hard to keep a straight face while even our wonderful guest from OK Video in Wilmington, Delaware, Sue Ogden, is filming, and she's laughing, and our producers over in the corner, Brian Touchette and Peter Quo, are laughing, and I made Michelle snort, and Peter was falling apart. He was practically in tears. We have so much fun.
Apparently somebody donated just for my snort.
Well,
So
in memory of a snort.
I'll snort again.
No. Well, maybe if I can make you, I'd be
If you
proud
can
of
make
it.
me snort
if I can
again.
make you, if I can make you snort twice in one night, that's an
Maybe
major.
that will pull in more donations.
Perhaps, but yes.
We need more.
We do need
We
more.
need more.
We do more, 24. But one of the things about Chapel Street Players, and I think the same is probably said for all community theaters and a lot of the nonprofits that are all part of Do More 24, we have so much fun. We have fun. One of the reasons why we're sentimental about leaving this place is all the cherished memories that we have here, because we're co-workers, we're all volunteers here at Chapel Street Players. Nobody gets paid, but we're like family. We are family. We are friends. We don't always agree.
We're a dysfunctional family.
You know what? That's exactly right. Especially after the last board meeting, we are a dysfunctional family. But we put the fun
in dysfunction.
Yes, and I'm saying all this, if you didn't know this, is a lead-in to the last of our performers, and this next performance. It just truly embodies everything I just said in terms of friendships and love and family. This is a couple. They are only recently married. Each are widower, and met again on Facebook and became pen pals. They knew each other way back in either, I'm going to butcher this, I think it was college. Yes, they did theater together in college or high school. I just heard from the producer over there, high school, and high school sweetheart. Thank you. The ghost of Chapel Street Players speaks to me in the dark.
Sounded a lot like Peter Quill.
It did sound like Peter Quill, but I think he's alive and kicking.
He is.
Kicking Brian as we speak. You almost made me snort. So, yes, so this last bit, and I'm making a build-up because it's so freaking cute.
Is.
So, yes, this is a couple, Bill King, who has been on the board. He's an actor, stage manager. He's our VP of volunteerism. He's just a wonderful guy. He married recently his high school sweetheart, Susan, and Susan, since marrying Bill, and she's a theater person, she's gotten back involved with theater. She's working with our costumes, co-chairing costumes. She helps out in so many capacities, and just this past summer, we always have an end-of-season party, which is a lot of fun, and just this past summer, Susan King had come up with this wonderful little parody, taking a famous musical theater song and creating her own version for Chapel Street. So without further ado,
Yes.
Please have fun like us with Bill and Susan King's own version of Camelot.
Hello. In the true spirit of our community theater, we're inviting you to participate in the singing of our anthem for Do More 24.
So, when we give you the high sign or the thumbs up, all you have to do is sing Chapel Street.
Chapel Street.
Okay, let's rehearse.
Okay.
Chapel Street.
Chapel Street.
Chapel Street. Got it. Good?
We got it? We got it.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Play on. We're still here.
The kings will make it clear the hijinks must continue all the year. Every time we have a call for an audition, we search for budding talent near and far. We welcome writers, actors, and technicians to Chapel Street. Chapel Street.
Chapel Street.
Chapel Street.
There's not much place to park your car.
But at Chapel Street, Chapel Street,
you
have a chance to be a star. Someday soon we'll have a shining new location with room for storing costumes, props, and more. With comfy seating for all of our patrons of Chapel Street. Chapel Street, a theater where everyone is welcome to sing or act, sell tickets, paint the floor. The memories of this spot will never be forgot, and we'll have a parking lot.
Chapel Street. I love that. Wasn't it so? I wonder if people did it at home. Let's do it again. Ready? Chapel Street. And everybody in the theater. Chapel Street. Sue, wait.
You got her name wrong. He got her name wrong. I can say it. He got her name wrong. Her name is Sue Oldenburg, and he said something. I don't know.
I said Ogden.
Who the heck is that?
I don't know.
Well,
I blame it on the
woman's
drink.
sitting right here.
I know. So ready? Let's make her do it. Ready?
Ready?
Sue Oldenburg.
Chapel Street. Oh, that was good. How Brian?
Chapel Street.
Peter. Chapel Street. All right, good. This is good.
This
I like
is
this. This
fun.
is fun.
I wish I had this much control in a situation.
We have control over nothing.
Nothing.
You realize that?
Nothing. But, we made Brian and Peter and Susan Oldenburg, do that because we want to once again thank them, because we would not be able to have this wonderful show tonight without them. And all of our guest performers that performed tonight, we want to thank them. They wouldn't have their videos up here and being judged by all of you and voted on by all of you if it wasn't for those three individuals. So thank them again, and thanks to Do More 24 overall, and Delaware Division of the Arts, and the Spur Impact, all of the different people and companies and corporations that contribute to the whole Do More 24 Delaware campaign. Now, coming up, don't forget to vote. And if you want to vote for any of the acts you saw tonight, like Bill and Susan King doing their version of Camelot,
Chapel Street.
You just need to mark in your donation in honor of box which performer you're voting for, and it's about who has the most individual votes.
Donations.
Donations. Not a donation is a vote, a minimum of $5. It's not about the total quantity they receive at the end. And this exciting news, the winner, the recipient of I don't know what grand prize, the winning performer will be announced at one of the many events that Chapel Street will be doing in the next, what's left, 20 some hours of Do More 24. There's going to be a virtual happy hour, at 5 o'clock p.m., hosted by our producers Brian Touchette and Peter Quo, and you can learn to make new drinks or exciting drinks, or you can watch Chapel Street volunteers get, I can't say the word, blank-faced on public television or
we're
streaming.
not going to get that.
No, we're not going to do that. There's also more installments coming up of the Dames, not Dame Edna, and the Dukes, not John Wayne. More installments are coming up. So how do you learn about that, Michelle? I wrote it down. I can read it this time. You can learn about the entire schedule of events. The next Duke and Dames is coming at midnight, so you only got a couple more hours to watch the next installment. It's different. They have different questions, different topics. You can go to the Chapel Street Players website, chapelstreetplayers.org, not com, chapelstreetplayers.org, and check out the schedule there. You can also go to the Chapel Street Players Do More 24 page. You can go to the Chapel Street Players YouTube page. And if you go to their YouTube page, you can actually mark the videos that you want to see coming up in the future and get a reminder. And once they're shown, you can also go back and watch them again. And that's, I think, all about what you got to do.
And I think that we have to mention, please continue to send in your donations. We really, really want to encourage you to continue to do that, and encourage you to keep up with us. We have a lot going on in the next year or so, and all of the donations help. So any amount would help, $5 and up, please.
And before we leave, do we have an update? Do we have an amount?
2,230.
2,230.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's great, and we appreciate every.
But I think we can get up higher by midnight. What do you think?
I think so.
I mean, if we get 2,800 by midnight, I think that would be pretty good.
They can go till 3 p.m.
And you can. Thank you for
Brian.
that. He just came into earshot, so I think we owe him $300 for that.
Right.
The more that comes into shot or earshot, the more we have to pay. So, anyway, so you have up until 3 p.m. on Friday tomorrow to vote for your favorite performer from tonight's talent show. So I think that wraps it up. So, are we ready?
Good night, everybody.